I loaded into Brookhaven expecting the usual experience. You know, people driving sports cars they definitely didn't earn, somebody pretending to be the mayor for no reason, and at least 3 people arguing outside the daycare over absolutely nothing. Standard Brookhaven activities. Then I noticed a crowd forming near one of the storm drains, and whenever you see a crowd in Brookhaven, your survival instincts tell you to either run away immediately or grab some popcorn because something unbelievably stupid is about to happen. Naturally, I walked over. Standing in the middle of the road was a default bacon hare. No expensive avatar items, no giant wings, no glowing aura, no title claiming he owned the server, just pure unfiltered bacon hare energy. He looked around like he was planning something, and everyone nearby stopped what they were doing. You could almost hear the collective confusion. One guy in a Lamborghini slowly rolled his window down like he was witnessing a historical event. Somebody typed, "What is bro doing?" Another player simply wrote, "Nah." Those 2 messages perfectly summarized the entire situation before anything even happened. The bacon hare walked over to a large pipe sticking out beside the road. He stared into it for a few seconds. Then he crouched. I didn't think much of it at first, because people crouch all the time in roleplay games. Maybe he dropped his imaginary wallet. Maybe he was looking for treasure. Maybe he was role-playing as a plumber with absolutely 0 qualifications. Then the chat exploded. Bro is pooping. Suddenly, 20 people were standing around this pipe, screaming in all caps as if they had just discovered alien life. Nobody had any proof. There was no animation. There was no sound effect. There was literally nothing except a crouching bacon hare next to a pipe. Somehow, everyone collectively agreed this man had chosen a storm drain as his bathroom. That rumor spread across the server faster than any actual emergency. Within 30 seconds, people from every corner of Brookhaven came running over. I watched somebody abandon a wedding ceremony halfway through the vows. The bride was left standing there while the groom sprinted toward the alleged pipe incident. Imagine explaining that one. "Sorry, honey, I know we were about to get married, but someone might be pooping in a drain." There isn't a relationship counselor on Earth prepared for that sentence. The bacon hare stood back up and slowly walked away without saying a single word. Absolute cinema. He didn't defend himself. He didn't explain anything. He didn't deny the accusations. He simply walked off into the sunset while 50 players argued over whether they had witnessed a crime. It was like watching a mysterious movie ending where nobody knows what happened, except everyone somehow reaches completely different conclusions. One girl immediately declared the area contaminated and refused to step within 10 feet of the pipe. Another player announced he was calling the Brookhaven police. First of all, there aren't any real police. Second, even if there were, imagine filing that report. "Officer, I'd like to report suspicious bathroom activity involving public infrastructure." The officer would probably quit on the spot. Meanwhile, another bacon hare walked over, looked inside the pipe and typed, "Looks clean to me." Congratulations. We had officially appointed the world's least qualified sanitation inspector. Then someone wearing an enormous superhero outfit landed beside the pipe and declared they would investigate. They spent the next 5 minutes walking in circles before announcing the evidence was inconclusive. Incredible detective work. Sherlock Holmes would be filing retirement papers after witnessing that investigation. At this point, the original bacon hare had disappeared entirely, which somehow made everything worse because legends become much bigger when the main character vanishes. People started inventing details that definitely never happened. One player claimed they saw smoke coming out of the pipe. Another insisted the bacon hare laughed like a supervillain before leaving. Somebody else swore the grass turned brown afterward. None of these people were even standing there when it happened. They simply arrived late and immediately started writing fan fiction in the public chat. Brookhaven players have a unique ability to witness absolutely nothing and still produce eyewitness testimony with complete confidence. I decided to follow the original bacon hare after spotting him across town sitting peacefully on a park bench. The man looked completely relaxed. He was feeding imaginary ducks while the server was experiencing the biggest sanitation-related panic in gaming history. I walked up and asked him one simple question. "Did you poop in the pipe?" He stared at me for about 10 seconds before replying, "Maybe." That's it. One word. Maybe. Somehow the least helpful answer imaginable. The chat message was like throwing gasoline onto an already burning building. Within moments, screenshots started circulating around the server. He confessed. No, he didn't. That's not how confessions work. If police interrogations were based on the word maybe, the justice system would collapse before lunch. Still, the crowd accepted it as undeniable proof. Suddenly, everyone became a forensic scientist. They started measuring distances, discussing fictional plumbing systems, and explaining how Brookhaven's underground pipe network supposedly worked. I guarantee none of these people had ever thought about drainage systems before today, yet now they were delivering full engineering lectures in Roblox chat. One player claimed the pipe connected directly to City Hall. Another said it flowed into the hospital. A third confidently announced it emptied into the swimming pool. That last one caused complete chaos. Half the server immediately ran toward the pool yelling, "Get out of the water!" There wasn't even water physics involved. It was pure panic fueled entirely by imagination. The lifeguard role player started blowing a whistle while people climbed onto rooftops to escape the non-existent contamination. I don't know how a rumour travelled from one pipe to an entire recreational facility in under 2 minutes, but somehow Brookhaven accomplished it. Then the mayor arrived. Every Brookhaven server eventually has someone role-playing as the mayor, and they always take the job much more seriously than anyone asked them to. He pulled up in a limousine, stepped out wearing a suit, and announced there would be an emergency town meeting regarding what he referred to as the pipe incident. Imagine waking up one day expecting to manage taxes and road construction, only to spend your afternoon investigating alleged pipe pooping. The meeting somehow made everything even less productive. Players shouted over each other. One demanded lifetime imprisonment. Another insisted the bacon hair deserved a medal for bravery, because apparently using outdoor plumbing counted as survival skills now. Somebody blamed aliens. There is always one person who blames aliens regardless of the situation. The mayor attempted to restore order by asking for evidence. Silence. Complete silence. Nobody had any evidence whatsoever. Not a screenshot, not a video, not even a convincing explanation. The entire case rested on one crouching animation and the word maybe. If this went to court, it would last approximately 14 seconds before being dismissed. The bacon hair unexpectedly returned during the meeting carrying a slice of pizza. The timing couldn't have been worse. The crowd immediately surrounded him like reporters chasing celebrity drama. Questions flew from every direction. Why did you do it? Are you sorry? Was it worth it? The bacon hair calmly ate his pizza while everyone yelled. Then he typed the single funniest message of the entire session. I was tying my shoe. That's all. Instantly the server split into two factions. Half believed him immediately. The other half insisted it was a cover-up orchestrated by powerful forces. Congratulations. We had reached conspiracy theory territory over a fictional drainage pipe. People started analysing his avatar. Bacon hair doesn't even have shoelaces. Somebody actually said that with complete seriousness. Another replied, maybe invisible shoes. At this point, reality packed its bags and left the server entirely. Then a scientist role-player appeared wearing a lab coat. Every server has one. They announced they had invented a scanner capable of determining the truth. The scanner was a flashlight. They shined it at the pipe for approximately 3 seconds before declaring everything normal. Somehow this convinced exactly nobody. If anything, suspicion increased because apparently flashlight technology wasn't trustworthy anymore. Meanwhile, another player built a memorial beside the pipe with flowers and candles. A memorial. Nobody died. Nothing was damaged. There wasn't even confirmation anything happened. Yet somehow this pipe now had its own monument. Tourists began visiting. People posed for screenshots. Somebody asked where the gift shop was. The bacon hair wandered over to the memorial, looked at the flowers, and typed, cool. Then he walked away again. That response somehow generated another argument lasting 15 minutes. Eventually, the server reset after an update warning appeared on everyone's screen. Players disappeared one by one. The mayor vanished. The scientist vanished. The detectives vanished. The memorial vanished. The famous pipe disappeared into digital history. Only one thing remained. The legend. Because somewhere out there, another Brookhaven server was about to hear whispers about a mysterious bacon hair who allegedly turned an ordinary pipe into the most controversial landmark in Roblox history. New players would hear exaggerated versions of the story. Veterans would swear they were there even if they weren't. The facts would become less important every single day until eventually people believed the bacon hair fought the military, escaped prison, and caused a citywide evacuation using nothing except questionable bathroom decisions. That's how internet legends are born. Not through facts, through confusion, exaggeration, and people refusing to admit they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Looking back, I still don't know whether the bacon hair ever pooped in that pipe. I honestly don't think anyone knows. Maybe he tied his shoe. Maybe he was inspecting the drain. Maybe he was trolling the entire server from the beginning. Whatever the truth was, he accomplished something almost impossible. He united an entire Brookhaven server under one shared mission, arguing endlessly about the dumbest mystery imaginable. Somehow a crouching default avatar beside a random pipe became more entertaining than every mansion, sports car, helicopter and roleplay happening across the map. That's the magic of Roblox. You log in expecting ordinary chaos and end up witnessing an investigation so ridiculous that everyone forgets what they were originally doing. Somewhere out there, that bacon hair is probably still loading into new servers, finding random objects, crouching beside them for 5 seconds, and quietly creating another completely unnecessary urban legend while hundreds of players write essays in the chat trying to explain something nobody ever understood in the first place.